Hey everybody, it's Debbie O'Neill at Scrap Me Quick Designs, and I've had a few questions from some of my followers about how do you change your ATG gun tape refill, and what is an ATG gun, and why would I use it, and what kind of tape would I get, and where would I get it, and some of those questions. So this is my favorite thing that I use for adhesive as far as putting larger papers together. So I use it for putting cards together, any of my die cut shapes that are larger pieces. I am working on a video that is going to cover all the different adhesives I use for various die cut shapes, so stay tuned for that video. Everyone's asking me that question as well. So as you know, I've been doing this for a while. I'm teaching scrapbook classes and just crafting in general. So I have a lot of different adhesives. I've tried a lot of different things, and the things that I love dearest are the things that I'm going to share with you in the next video about all about adhesives with your die cuts. So today, though, we're going to talk about what is an ATG gun. An ATG gun is an advanced tape glider, okay, and that's what this is, okay, and I happen to have two of them because the pink one that you see here is what you can find at Michael's craft stores, and I think Joann's carries them. And they were originally a special edition for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and then they've just stuck with the pink ones in the actual craft stores, which is perfect because you know I love pink. Now, the first gun I had was the Scotch ATG 714. These were actually made for framing shops, use them to add the paper backing and mats and stuff to frames, and so you'll find them on some of the framing sites where you can order your ATG guns. I think this was like $35. The pink one at Michael's I think is $40, but then use your 40% off coupon, and that makes it pretty reasonable. And you can also find it online at Amazon and various other places. You can see the difference here. They're the same thing, except one's pink and one's red. These hold the 1/4 inch rolls of tape. So let's talk about the tape real quick. And Scotch makes two different types of brand of the refill rolls. One of them is permanent, and it's acid-free, photo safe. They make another, and it's a 1/4 inch wide. It's great for scrapbooking, card making, invitations, anything with paper products that you want to adhere well. One roll has, sorry about that, 36 yards of tape on it. All right, that's a lot of adhesive on one roll, so it ends up being a really great value to do this as opposed to a tape runner. And they have acid-free photo safe. They also have just regular rolls of tape that come in a different box. They don't say acid-free on them. That's what I keep in my red one, because it's a little bit cheaper, and if I'm just putting some cards together and I don't necessarily need it to be acid-free, because I'm not going to ever have any photos with it or anything, I'll use this tape gun when I'm doing that. But you can certainly use this one as well anytime that you're putting your projects together. Now, these are, I think, $10, so it ends up being $5 a roll because you get 2 rolls in a package. And this is what you'll find with the ATG guns at Michael's and Joann's and so forth. So it has 2 rolls of tape. So you'll see the 2 rolls of tape in the box. Okay. These each have 36 rolls of tape. So that's 72 yards of tape, I'm sorry, 36 yards. It's 72 yards of tape for the 2 rolls. So this is normally, I think, $9.99. You use your 40% off coupon, so it makes it a little bit cheaper. It's still not as cheap as you can actually get the tape, because there are a couple of places online where you can order individual rolls, and the rolls, depending upon how many you order, could be just a couple of dollars each. So those places are tapedepot.com and also tapejungle.com. They are owned by the same people. They just run under 2 different names. I don't know why, but sometimes the tape is cheaper at one place than another. And what you're looking for is, these are also 1/4-inch rolls, and there'll be one that says that it is acid free, and there'll be one that is not acid free. And you want to get, you know, depending upon which one you want. If you're going to be taping photos into scrapbooks and so forth, make sure you get the acid-free one. But they come individual, and you can order however many rolls you want. If you order a dozen rolls, you know, it's cheaper than if you just order a couple of rolls. But that's another resource for you to get the tape for this. So when you do it that way, it gets super, super cheap to have 36 yards of tape. So I order like a dozen at a time usually, and or I might order 2 dozen, and then I split a dozen with another friend, because you can get 2 boxes of the tape in there in a flat ship, big flat ship box, and so it ends up being cheaper if you can split it with somebody else. Or, you know, I go through a lot of tape because I craft a lot, so I'll go through 24 rolls, you know, in a matter of a few months. So it's good to have it on hand. I hate to run out of adhesive when I'm in the middle of a project. So this way I never run out of adhesive. So these are from Tape Depot or Tape Jungle. The ones that come like this, they're just like the other rolls. They have the same kind of spinner and everything on the middle. They go the same way into the gun, okay? So what I'm going to show you is, I have been waiting to do this video until I ran out of tape in my gun. So here you have a rolling system here. This is the cover, and then it's like a trigger, okay? So you just pop this open. Now, you will notice that I have a beautiful liner, and I have decorated mine. Yours will not come this way. Yours will look like this, okay? And I transformed it to this. And how I did that was, there is a liner piece that comes inside your ATG gun when you purchase it, and I took that and found some double-sided scrapbook paper that I really loved, and I used that liner piece and just traced it so that it fit inside my ATG gun. And then on the outside of my ATG gun, these are I think they were from Heidi Swap. They were stickers that I added on here that are kind of pink. And then this was, I think this was from the dollar spot at Michael's, and it says Create, and it's rhinestone gems, and you know how I love everything glittery, and rhinestones and pink. And then on top of the sticker that I layered onto my ATG, I actually then glued down some more rhinestones just to make mine even blingier. I just like pretty things, and so I wanted to have it match my room. I have a lot of pink in my room. The other thing is, when I go to a crop or an event where I'm working with other scrapbookers, a lot of people have these ATG guns, and this way I always know this one's mine. So there's no question, no one else has one that looks just like mine. So anyway, so that's my tip for decorating. Now you'll notice a lot of people think that these are too big. I have relatively small hands. I am not a large-handed person, so even having smaller hands, this fits perfectly in my hand. So if you've been worried about that or thought it was too big, you know, I don't have large hands, so it fits fine in my hand. All right, so what you're going to do, you're going to open this up, and I'm going to show you how do you take one out, and then how do you add a new roll. It's pretty simple. I cannot tell you how many times I have done this for other people because they couldn't figure it out, but I want to show you guys exactly how you do it so that you can do this at home. Now, you have a catch guard, that mechanism that's right here. This pops out. it's hard to see it in the video. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to, there a little bit you can see that. Okay, so it says open and it has an arrow on it. So it lets you know which direction do you turn this so it will take it off. Okay, and then you pull this piece up. Never lose this piece. You have to have this piece. A lot of people have misplaced these, and then your gun will not work because your tape will not stay on the roll and it'll roll off. So make sure when you take this off, you put it right next to you so you don't lose it. Okay, now on this side you have a little black piece that's here, and there is, let me see if you guys can see that a little bit better. There you go. If I tilt it, you'll see that there's a little notch here that goes over the roll. You want to pull that little notch in just gently and then pop this off. Okay, this is a completed roll. I've already used all the tape on it, and all I'm going to do is then just pull this up, and I'm going to take all the tape off of it. Okay, so it's all off, and this just goes in the trash. Okay, now I have a brand new roll. When you start a roll, you'll see that it has a liner and it has a little tab that pulls it off. So I'm going to pull off that liner, and then this part goes on this side of your ATG gun. So I'm going to lay this on here, and when I do this, I pushed it down, and now that little tab that I showed you kind of clicked over, so it's holding this roll flat. It's keeping it on the roll. Now, this is the part where people get confused. There are two rollers. One feeds it and one lays it onto your project. So what you need to do is, this one goes over and then it goes under. Alright? Now this is the 1/4 inch tape, so you want to make sure, see how I have it about that far from the top of that bottom roller. Can you see that okay? Alright, this means that it's going to feed appropriately for me. And now once I have it looped around this way, I'm going to squeeze the handle, the trigger over here, and that allows the gun to roll. Okay, and I'm just going to pull some up here. Okay. Now once I've done that, I'm just going to loop it around. Okay. It's going to come across the top of the sticky roll, and it's going to go over to where my black dial is now. Now on the black dial, you will see that there's some notches. Okay? Let me see if you guys can see that. See the notches? Now, what you want to do is that first notch, you're going to put it in, and then you're going to slide it in between the two notches over here. Can you see that? So I'm going to do that again. So there's two notches stuck in here, and there's like a little piece here in the middle. You're going to slide it in one end, and then up around, and then back out of that other slot. Okay? Now, I hold this down, and again, I pick it up. It's hard for me to show you. I hold it down, and then I'm going to pull the trigger. And when I do that, it releases the roll so I can roll this around. So I roll it around till I get it all the way back around to the side, so then the roll stays on. Okay? You guys see that? So now it is rolled. It's rolled from the roll across this one, back down underneath this one. This one feeds it, and this one actually lays it on your project. Okay, so off the roll, over the feeder, onto the one that rolls it onto your project. It goes up across here. It goes into these two notches and back around. Okay, now remember this piece that I told you don't lose? This is when you add it back. Okay, so you're just going to lay it on there. Okay, and then you want to turn it the opposite direction of open, so then it's on there completely. Okay, and that's it. That's how you load your ATG gun. It's really simple. After you do this a few times, you will be able to do it in your sleep, I promise. And you can always go back and watch my video again if you forget in between doing it. Now, how do you use this? What you're going to do is when you want to lay down the adhesive, there's a couple of tricks to using this to get it to work cleanly. All right, I have a piece of paper, and I'm going to lay my ATG gun down, and I'm just going to roll it straight as I'm holding the trigger down. When I'm finished getting it onto my piece in the shape in the place where I want it, I just pull straight up and it breaks it for me. Okay, can you see this where it broke it here for me? So that's how it works. So you're going to lay it down where you want it on your project, and then you're going to hold the trigger and roll, and when you finish, you'll let go of the trigger and you'll just pull it straight up, and that breaks it for you. All right, so I can do this all the way around, pull it and get it to where I want it to stop, and then just pull it straight up, and that breaks the adhesive. If you get like these little glue boogers, I guess you would call it, where it's just kind of bumpy on there, don't worry about that. You do that with any tape runner. You won't see it on your project unless for some reason yours gets really thick. Then you can always just kind of rub some off. Okay, so like here, I could just rub some of this off. That's the other thing, is if I get a little bit too much on here and I don't want that much on it, you can just pull it right off. Okay, so then all I would do is lay that down on my project, and I rub it down, and now it is completely attached and perfect. So that is about the advanced tape glider guns. The ATG is what everybody calls it. And where do you get the tape? How do you take one off? How do you put one on? I hope you guys found this useful, and please let me know if you have any other questions, and be sure and stay tuned for my video on all kinds of adhesive that I recommend to use for various die cut shapes. And if you'll follow me on YouTube and like my video, I really appreciate that. And thanks a lot, and have an awesome day. Bye.